Well, it's still August here in Alberta, but last night there was lots of snow and frost in different areas of the province. Here at home in central Alberta, it got down to 4 degrees Celsius, which is right around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe a little bit colder. And what that means in this neck of the woods is it's time to get ready for moose season. And when we look around, we see the leaves are starting to turn color. There's lots of yellow leaves. The hazelnuts are ripened and starting to turn brown. And the moose are going to start calling any day now. There's actually a few trees here that we found that are broken down, so they're starting to actually rake their antlers and get that velvet off. And when that happens, it's just like a signal. It's just a matter of time when the rut really kicks in. So you can really call moose anytime from early September right through November, and it's really a good way to bring a moose into you. Now the best way to do that is to call like a lovesick cow looking for a suitor, and what we want to do is really project our voice and get it out there a long way. So I like to use a birch bark horn. They also make these in fiberglass, which is great for rubbing the trees. But you would just want to make a real long, moanful cow moose sound. And what I normally do, I've watched them in the past, and they stretch their neck out to get a real good flow of air, and they swing their heads back and forth as they call, so it's reaching a really wide area. So a cow moose call is real simple. That's exactly what a cow sounds like in the wild, and the birch bark really helps to give you a little bit more deeper tone and really reach out there. And you don't have to be a pro at this. Every moose sounds different, so now's a good time of year to actually practice, and practice is what's going to make perfect. And a lot of people are actually intimidated by doing their own voice calls, and if you are, there are some other options. You know, a tin can works really well, a 48-ounce tin can that you might have had a big batch of beans or some extra ketchup or something in, but an old tin ice bucket also works. So when you have a tin can or even a tin ice pail that you want to put soft drinks in or beer in the summer, you can just poke a little hole and you put a shoestring in there. And what you do is you just take that string and tie a knot in one end so that it will stay in the tin itself. So the key to making this work is we actually bring a little bit of water, and I put some in the can and try to wet down the string a little bit. And most of the time when you're in the moose woods, that's easy to do because you're close to a water, whether it's a lake, river, or a swamp or whatever. But when that string is wet and it's tight with that knot in the bottom, you just grab it between your finger and thumb, put some pressure, and pull it. And it makes a great moose call. Easy to do, easy to make. And if you're intimidated about doing a voice call, there's been hundreds, if not thousands, of moose called in Canada by resident hunters using a tin can or a pail of some type. So if you're fortunate enough to have a moose tag this year and you're out hunting, make sure you try the cow moose call. The only other piece of advice I'd give you is make sure that when you call, you broadcast, move your head back and forth, and send that volume out to a huge area so that you can reach the moose in a large piece of forest.